Namaste. Welcome. My name is Anna, and today we're going to redefine or learn Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So we'll need a few things, perhaps some blocks or books, anything you have lying around the house, and a chair. And we're going to really break down this pose. So if half moon is not in your practice currently, we're going to really break it down so that you can learn the proper steps and alignment so that you can begin to safely and confidently work it into your practice. Now, if half moon is already in your practice, we'll focus on redefining your half moon. So we will work our way up to half moon. This will be a short video, but I'll add in a few preparatory poses to warm us up so that we can safely come into half moon pose. And of course, safety and comfort is the most important thing in your practice. So really being mindful and listening to your body, and if something doesn't feel right, then please don't do it. Being kind to yourself, don't push yourself. Yoga is all about progression. So having gratitude and being okay with wherever you're at in your practice right now it's perfectly okay. And the more you practice, the more you'll be able to redefine your pose and add on if you need. It's not necessary. It's your body will let you know when it's ready to move on to the next level or to add on. There's no right or wrong way. All that matters is how you feel in your body. Okay. So with that being said, just a few things about our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana, as it is also called in Sanskrit. There's some psychological effects that this pose can have, and I just want to kind of run down on a few of the main ones. So this can strengthen. It strengthens your ankles, your legs, your back muscles. It increases flexibility in your spine. It stretches your groin muscles, opens up your hip joints, and it also helps our respiratory system. It stimulates our respiratory system and our endocrine system, stimulating our thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pancreas, and also stimulates the cardiovascular system by increasing circulation and vitality. And within our nervous system, this pose helps. It's a balancing pose, and so it helps us develop balance, concentration, and coordination, and also stimulates our digestive system because it's core work as well. It's balance, it's core work. So it tones our abdominal organs, stimulating our digestion, and it's really good for relieving any gastric issues that you may be experiencing. So some of the key muscles that we'll be working on here in our half moon pose is your gluteus muscles, your piriformis, and the piriformis, that's that pain in the butt muscle. So I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. I had issues with that for many, many years, where you have this pain like in your butt. Literally, it's called pain in the butt muscle. So that's a very common thing for people to experience. So this will help your piriformis muscle. And also works the triceps. Yeah. So, and for those of you who know about the doshas, I won't go into detail with them, but this balances all of your doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So those are just a few things that I wanted to point out. Our asana practice It really is more than just the physical practice. We have all these other, wonderful effects going on in our body from these poses that bring us vitality, that stimulate our prana, our life force. So it's just too exciting and important for me not to share. So with all that being said, and a few contraindications, I should mention this too. So if you experience vertigo, this may not be the pose for you. And if you have issues with your hips, if you've had hip surgery or an injury, you want to be mindful. This may not be something for you. And a knee injury too. So if you suffer any kind of knee pain or knee injury, you also want to be mindful as well. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come on to all fours, tabletop position. Bringing your knees hip width distance apart, wrists right underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. It's a few of our cat-cows here. So inhale, take your gaze up, let your belly melt, tailbone tilts up. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding out your back. Inhale, look up, belly melts, tailbone tilts up. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding out your back. Then inhale, coming back to our neutral spine. Then on your next inhale, just extending your right leg straight back. Flexing your foot, toes are facing the floor. Push back through your heel. Your navel is engaged, drawing your belly in towards your spine. Good. And then on your next inhale, turn out the right hip. Stack your right hip over your left hip. Good. And then square your hips towards your mat. Turn out your right hip, keeping your foot flexed. Good. Now hinge your right knee, like you're trying to kick yourself in the booty. Yeah. And then take your right hand, bring it to your foot or your ankle, grabbing on, drawing the knee towards the back. Good. Opening up the heart. Gaze could be forward, or you can take your gaze up towards the sky. If you're a little shaky, that's okay. This is balance. Good. And then exhale, releasing your hands, legs straight back behind you, and then come back to your tabletop. Now, taking that left leg, extending it back, flex your foot, toes pointing down. Turn out that left hip, and then square your hips towards your mat. Turn out the left hip, square your hips towards your mat. Turn it out one more time. Bend your left knee. And reach back with your left hand to grab your ankle, your foot, whatever you can grab. Draw that left knee towards the back of the room. Take your gaze to the side, or maybe looking over your shoulder. Heart is open. Shoulders are stacked. And then exhale, release your legs. Place your hand down, square the hips. Left leg straight back, flex your foot, and then exhale, coming back to your table. Now bring your knees wide, big toes touch, sit back on your heels, walk the hands forward, sink back, opening up the hip joint, and then let your head fall to the earth. Maybe the forehead touches. Sinking back on your hips. Walking those fingers up towards the top of your mat to open up the shoulders. Taking a few deep breaths here. And allowing yourself to just kind of melt into your pose. Letting go of any tension in the hips. Good. And then inhale. Coming back to your table. Bringing your knees hip width. Curling your toes under. And then lifting your knees, sending your sits bones up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Hinge one knee and then the other. Ears in line with your shoulders. And then extend your right leg towards the sky. Hinge the right knee, and now turn out your right hip. Right hip is stacked over your left. Look underneath your left armpit and see if you can wave to yourself with your right foot. And then extend your right leg straight back behind you. And place your foot down. Now extending that left leg back. Hinge your knee, stack your hips, look underneath your right armpit, and see if you can wave to yourself, hello. And then place your legs straight back and right back to your down dog. And then go ahead, walk it out. Good. Now extend that right leg to the sky. And step through to the top of the mat. Place your back knee down. Left hand on the mat or a block. And right hand to the sky. Exhale, place your right hand down on the outside of your front foot on the block or on the mat. And then inhale, right hand to the sky. Or left hand to the sky, left hand to the sky. And then exhale, place your hand down. Good. Now, coming off our back knee, so lift your back knee off the mat. Placing the block on the inside of your front foot. Front knee is hinged, lining knee over your ankle, and extend that right hand towards the sky. And then exhale, place it down. Now bring that block on the right side of your foot. Turn out your back foot at a 90-degree angle, and then extend left hand to the sky. And then exhale. Place your hand down, step back to down dog, and walk it up. So same thing on our left side now, so extend that left leg back, and then step through. Place your back knee down. Right hand on the inside of your front foot, and left hand to the sky, opening up. Exhale, bring your hand down. Placing your block or your hand on the left side of your front foot and extending your right hand to the sky. Exhale, bring your hand down. Curl your back toes under, lift your back knee off the mat. Front knee remains hinged, lining it up over your ankle. Right hand on your block. Left hand to the sky. Exhale, left hand down. On the outside of your front foot, turn your back foot out. So it's at a 90-degree angle. Front knee remains hinged. Inhale, right hand towards sky. And then exhale, place your hand down. Good. Step to the top of your mat and come to your forward bend. Inhale, roll yourself up. One vertebra at a time. Allow your head to be the very last thing to come up, and go ahead and roll out your shoulders. Good. Okay. So we're going to come to our Ardha Chandrasana. We're going to begin using a chair first. So grab your chair, place it at the top of your mat. And we're going to place our hands on our chair. Feet are about hip width distance apart. And we're going to extend that right leg straight back. Okay? Flexing your foot, toes are pointing down so our hips are squared. Yeah, good. And then turn out that right hip just like we did on when we were in our tabletop position. And then square your hips off towards the mat. Turn out that right hip. Okay. Now stay here, keep your foot flexed. And then on your next inhale, if it feels comfortable, if you feel comfortable to let go with your right hand, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, keep both hands on the chair. That's perfectly okay. So bringing that right hand to your hip. And noticing that your top leg is in line with your hips, and now your bottom leg is externally rotated. And then, adding on, you can extend that right hand to the sky. Gaze can be forward, or if you want to challenge yourself even more, take your gaze up towards the sky. And for those who need a further challenge, bend that top knee, reach back for your foot or your ankle. Press back with your knee, point the knee back and open up the heart. Maybe gaze up towards the sky. Keep your standing leg soft. You can keep a bend of that knee if you'd like. Good. Exhale, release. Coming right back, both hands on your chair, and step together. Good. Holding on to your chair, just hinge one knee, then the other, just kind of shake it out. And now let's try this on the other side. So extend that left leg back, turn out the left hip, and then square your hips. Turn out the hip, and then square your hips. Now one more, and let's hold it here, keeping your foot flexed. Now you decide how you feel today. If you'd like to bring your left hand to your hip, go ahead, try that. You have that chair there, so if you try it and you feel unstable, just come right back. That's what the chair is for. Sometimes it's just mind over matter, and it's nice to have a prop there. So bringing your hand to your hip, stacking your shoulders, so draw that left shoulder back. Keep your standing leg, keep your knees soft in their standing leg, and maybe extend your hand to the sky. Or adding on, bending your knee, reaching back, finding your foot, your ankle, whatever you can grab. Point your knee back, open up through the heart, maybe take your gaze up. Exhale, release, both hands to the chair, and step together, and shake it out. One knee, then the other, shake your hips out, shake your booty. All right, so come to standing. So that was our variation A. Let's call it variation A. So let's take the chair, place it to the side, and now we're gonna use our blocks. So place one block on each side of your mat, the top of your mat. You can use books too. Okay, and if you find that this is too difficult for you, if you're new to half moon pose, do this with the chair. Okay, please don't hurt yourself. Listen to your body. It's perfectly okay to use the chair. So, coming to our Tadasana. So our Tadasana is standing with our feet hip width distance apart. Navel is drawn in, heart is lifted. And then as we exhale, we're going to come to a forward fold. So bend your knees, hinge at the hip joint, come to forward fold. Finding your blocks. For now, let's place a block, one in each hand. Okay. And then on your inhale, extending your right leg back. Okay. Keep your knee and your standing leg, keep it soft. So even if you have to bend it. Okay. Toes are pointing down, your right toes are pointing down. Turn out your right hip. Just like we did with the chair, turn out that right hip. And then square the hips. Turn out your right hip again. Keep it there. Point your feet, your toes, so your foot is flexed. And move the blocks wherever you need it. So you're blocking your left hand. You might need to walk it out to the left or up a little bit higher or both. Just kind of see what works for you. And then if you feel pretty stable and comfortable, bring your right hand to your hip. Gaze could remain down. If you're really, really feeling unsteady, keep the gaze down. Or you can look to the side. Arm could be extended. Good. Gaze could be up to the sky. Good. You could add on by hinging the knee, grabbing your ankle, your foot, pointing the knee towards the back, opening up through your heart. And then exhale, releasing, bringing your hand down, squaring your hips, stepping together. Good. Shake it out. Shake your booty. All right, left leg. Extend your left leg back. Turn out your left hip. Square it to the mat. Turn it out and let's hold it here this time. Both hands could be on the mat or blocks. Or you can begin to take that left hand, slowly bring it to your hip. Left hip. Stacking the shoulders, shoulder stacking over shoulder. Left shoulder over right shoulder. Maybe extending your hand towards the sky. Or hinging the knee. Finding your foot, your ankle, whatever you can grab. Pointing your knee towards the back. Opening up the heart. Exhale, release. Bring both hands down and step together. Walk it out. And then inhale, slowly rolling yourself up. Take your time, allowing your head to be the very last thing that comes up. And go ahead and roll out your shoulders. Good. All right. So that is our variation B. Now our last one that we're going to do is our against the wall. So find a wall space. Our last modification, I should say. So find a wall space. And stand with your left hip facing the wall. Left hip facing the wall. And coming to your forward fold, hinging at the hips, come to your forward fold, and you can bring your blocks along too for this. Come to your forward fold. Place your hands on your blocks, and you should be able to touch your hips. So your hips should be touching the wall. So giving you that stability there. And then when you're ready, we're going to extend that right leg back. Turn out the right hip. And I love doing this pose against the wall. You lose that fear of falling because you have that wall there. So it allows you to really, really get into your pose. Flex your right foot. Bring your right hand to the hip. Lean on the wall. Use that support. Good. And then inhale, extending your arm towards the sky. I love this pose because every time I do it, my back cracks. So I feel like I give myself self-chiropractic adjustments. It feels so good. And then exhale, place your hand down and feet together. Shake it out. And then slowly come to standing. All right, so now let's place our right hip. So just turn around and right hip to the wall. Bring your blocks with you. Come to your forward bend, hinging at the hips. Your hips should be touching the wall. And then when you're ready, extend that left leg back. Turn out the left hip. Lean on that wall. Bring your left hand to your hip. And maybe to the sky. Good. And maybe you couldn't look up before, but now that you have the wall there, you can look up. Good. Exhale, release. Stepping your feet together. Shake it out, shake it out. And then inhale. Let's come to standing. Good. Let's come back to our mat. And take a wide leg stance. Bring your legs wide. Take a block maybe, just in case. Bring your hands on your hips. Heels out a little bit, toes in. Hinging at the hip joint right here. Folding. Bring your hands to the hip, to the block, or maybe the floor. Or maybe your head comes to a block. Adjusting your stance. Bend your knees if you need to. And allow yourself to just let go. Good, and now bending your right knee like you're in a side lunge. Come to center, bend the left knee. Come to center, bend the right knee. Come to center, and then bend the left knee. One last time, come to center. Now step your feet in together, maybe a step or two. Bring your hands to your hips. Slowly make your way up. And heel toe your feet together. Good. All right. So let's make our way to our mat. Coming to a seated position. Crossing at your ankles. Sitting up nice and tall. Bringing your hands to your heart center. closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or just having a soft gaze. And just take a moment to notice the effects of your practice. Notice maybe any of the things that I mentioned at the beginning here, those psychological effects. Notice if you feel any of that in your body. Just notice your energy, notice your prana. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. Taking care of yourself, connecting your breath to your body, to your mind, but most importantly, just being kind to yourself. Think of your intention and have gratitude. And be happy wherever you're at in your practice and wherever you're at in your life, because you are perfect just the way that you are. Noticing your breath. Notice the breath becomes easy as you surrender, you let go. You let go of fear, you let go of stress, and you invite peace into your heart. And that peace helps manifest whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you want. Slowly opening up your eyes. If they're closed, taking in the colors, the lights surrounding you. Taking an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember to always have gratitude and love for yourself. Be well, be balanced, be healthy. Namaste.